25 News.
Man, want to get some cars in that area. Let's get that vehicle stopped. We can't have a vehicle chasing squad cars, storing bricks, and antagonizing our.
That was the voice of Peoria's police chief describing a wild car chase this morning that ended with a crash and at least one injury, plus a bunch of arrests. Good Tuesday evening. I'm Tyler Lopez. That chase started just before sunrise with an SUV on the run.
And I'm Janice Repholz. Thanks for joining us at 5. Now, it ended when that car was wrecked at a busy intersection. That is Main and University, and it happened right on Bradley's campus. Now, Taylor Fleming was at that scene and joins us with what we know so far tonight. Taylor.
6 people were arrested, including 4 kids. Police believe it all started when they stole a Jeep Grand Cherokee, eventually leading police on a chase throughout the community. But it even had a wild beginning around 6 a.m. 6 people stopped near Peoria High School wearing masks, and they attacked a student who was walking to school. That student was hurt to the point that person was taken to the hospital. The suspects then drove towards other students at both Peoria High and Richwoods, apparently trying to hit them. Later, police say it got even more bizarre. They threw weights and assorted objects at squad cars and other vehicles. So, after a chase, that vehicle crashed at the Main and University intersection following the use of spike strips. It actually ended up inside a concrete barrier. Peoria police chief says he is, quote, frustrated and frankly exhausted by the cycle of violent offenders. In a statement, he called for reform, saying this incident exposes serious weaknesses in the juvenile justice system. He said in part, quote, when juveniles are out in a stolen vehicle committing violent crimes at 6 in the morning, that is not just a policing issue, that is a parenting failure. All people in the stolen vehicle have been arrested. They got medical treatment and are now being held at the Peoria Police Department. In Peoria, Taylor Fleming, 25 News.